1. Finding a job. You are listening at FameTV.info. Before the proverbial deal, are you sure you will be alright? If you want to, you could always move in with us, you know. Mother and father always treated you like their own, especially now that the twins are off to military training. There's just me left to trouble them. Leah was trying her best to comfort her best friend. Anne's grandmother recently passed away just as she was maturing into adulthood, leaving her all alone in the world. Her best friend Leah and her family was the only one with her during and after the funeral. She didn't know the identity of her biological father, and her mother did not want to acknowledge her at all. She was abandoned at birth by her mother to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. Growing up parentless and destitute, she was single-handedly raised by her grandmother in Las Vegas, Nevada. In all of her 18 years of life, not once did her mother visit her, and she always wondered why. Was she that despicable for her mother to disregard her just like that? Abandoned and unwanted when she was young, she would daydream and create a story of her own, various reasons as to why her mother abandoned her and not once ever thought and missed her. Maybe she was afraid that if people find out about me, it could affect her career negatively. That's it. That's why she never visited me. And she would feel better afterward. However, as the years passed, and her mother still did not show her face, not even when her grandmother passed away, leaving her all alone with no one but her best friend Leah by her side, and started to feel hatred towards the mother that had abandoned her at birth, she boasted to herself that someday she would confront her lousy mother. But before then, she needs to rise up from her poverty-stricken situation. Making a plan for the future, and realized that she had talent at a young age. Anyone that ever heard her singing always said so, and this was apart from her natural brilliance in school, which led to her being the valedictorian for her high school graduation. She was born with a gift, just like the mother who abandoned her, and now a very famous personality in the Asian entertainment industry. Her sweet grandmother, God bless her soul, always encouraged her to pursue her dreams, which unfortunately came at a cost to her health, since she had to work double shifts to provide for their basic needs as well as some spare money for and to attend various talent shows. Unfortunately, her grandmother is now gone, and she has not one to support her any longer, and never realized just how bad her situation was until bills from the hospital and funeral home started coming in the mail. On top of that, the rent had not been paid for several months, and she would soon become homeless. The girl that once had a bright future ahead of her was now destitute and penniless. A break had finally come. Auditions for a singing competition were being held in a nearby city, an opportunity to showcase her talent. She was confident that she would pass the preliminaries and make it to the next round. There was only one problem. How was she going to get there? With no money and debts to the funeral home and hospital, she couldn't even afford the bus fare. But worst of all, she had received a notice from her landlord saying, if she were unable to pay rent by the end of the week, and would need to vacate the premises. And was beginning to fall into depression while trying to figure out where she could get the money. She thought about asking her best friend Leah, but she already owed her too much. She thought of her lousy mother, Sophia Wen, a famous entertainer in Asia, who had recently married one of the wealthiest men in the country. Who had never even once thought about the child she left behind, the same child who was now broke with a bleak future, and seemingly no light at the end of the tunnel. With no other option and against her better judgment, she decided to take a chance and ask her friend Leah for another loan. She also considered finding a job to make a quick buck. However, with only a high school diploma at hand, the only job she would be able to get would only be one that pays minimum wage, and that would not be enough at all. She needed to think fast. The only option was to talk to Leah. She might have an idea. When Anne arrived at Lee's place, she found Leah arguing with her boyfriend over something. I don't know anyone, all right. No matter how much your friend's boss is willing to pay, I can't help you, John. Leah told the man, screaming at the top of her lungs. How about you? I know you can speak at least 4 or 5 languages. Lee's boyfriend answered angrily. So what if I can? It doesn't mean I'm willing to do it. Leah retorted. How about your friend, the one that's always hanging around you? She's always borrowing money, I know she could use some cash right now. Why don't you ask her? John responded, trying to coax Leah now. You're unbelievable. That's my friend, not yours. What she owes me is our business, and has nothing to do with you. I can't believe you even mentioned that. Leah answered, finally breaking out in tears. You have no right to bring my private matter with and into our discussions. You know what? I don't need a boyfriend like you, with such shady demands. I want to break up. We're done. N.no, please don't say that. I didn't mean anything by what I said. I'm in a bind right now, and this is an excellent opportunity. It has a big commission plus bonus. I need this right now. And heard what Lee's boyfriend just said, and curiosity getting the better of her, she asked. What about me? What do you mean what about you? Here I am ready to split with him, to protect you, and now you're asking what about you? Are you going nuts as well? Along with this asshole? Leah retorted. John decided to approach Anne, instead of arguing with Leah any longer. You came at the right time. I have a job for you. It pays a hefty sum, are you interested? He asked excitedly, knowing she was desperate. Yes. I'm interested, but first, I need to know how much this job will pay and what it is about. Just because she was desperate didn't mean she would let herself be scummed. He told an amount that was enough to cover all the bills that were past due, and still have enough left over for her to be able to go to the singing competition. It was too good to be true. It was like a blessing for her. Deal. I will do the job, but what's the catch? What exactly do I have to do? Are you going to ask for my kidney? Anne asked apprehensively. Lee's boyfriend explained the requirements for the translation job, and how she will receive her pay. If she did a good job, there would be an additional bonus added. That made Anne even more eager to take the translation job. They agreed that Anne would start the job the following day. However, Lee's boyfriend still had more to say. Oh. Before I forget, there is a catch with this job, though, a requirement. The man is somewhat eccentric, and he has a problem with a young single woman, therefore, you need to either be over 40 years old or married. The client was adamant on those specific requirements. And was now stuck in a dilemma. She can't be aged overnight, and changing her appearance wouldn't do any good. There's no way they will believe she is over 40. There was only one option left, she needed to find and pay someone to become her fake husband. Easier said than done. However, in Las Vegas, there are always people looking for easy money, primarily gamblers, who are more than enough. It should be easy to find a man willing to play along if the price is right. And thought, and began calculating. With the amount of money offered, after deducting the fee for this asshole, thank God Leah has done away with him, I will still have enough to pay the bills and to attend the audition. Suddenly, it hit her. Wait. Where am I going to find a fake husband? How about him? No. I can't, he's too greedy. He would want more than his fair share, and he is Lee's boyfriend, sorry ex-boyfriend. That won't work. However, this is too good an opportunity to let go. After contemplating for a few minutes, she asked with enthusiasm. What time do I need to be there? You have a day to find a husband or age 30 more years. If you don't, both you and your friend will be in trouble, you hear? John answered, gruffly. Don't worry, since I can't turn into an old lady, I will make sure to find a husband. Mark my words. And proudly retorted to John. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.